right, so look, real quick, before we get to the seal coat, I think I mentioned this in a video or two ago, but just in case I didn't, or you may have forgotten, this is a, to save us putting down all kinds of plastic and everything like that, we have this little trench right here, okay? So I got a little slack on that, and this piece of plastic runs all the way over here and overlaps the other side over there, and that's all screwed to our center joist underneath of all this that you can't really see. So I just wanted to show you that. Once I have that little trench there, I'm just going to take a little screw. That way, the more the resin falls over, not really on the seal coat, it's more so the flood coat. We start to accumulate a bunch of weight here. It's not just going to pull this in. But keep in mind, we are double protected. On the inside of here, underneath all this, is another layer of plastic. Kind of like a fail-safe there, just to protect us. You don't need a whole lot. We've walked about 5. This makes number 6. And out here towards the end, I'm going to push right here to our post. Just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and stick this in. That way, the second something hits that, we're already angled down in everywhere to run inward, not run outward. So I just wanted to give you that cool tip there. So let's get started. We're going to start on our seal coat now and talk about it. All right, so look, here we are. Now, I'm going to put it right here in the light. Look, so you can see. See the clarity, okay? Clarity in it. All the way to the bottom, you can see your stick. Don't worry about the bubbles, okay? That's going to happen. This is a very, very thick tabletop resin. The casting resins are much thinner. But another thing I want to show you, the temperature in the room back here, we started it. It's 75 degrees back here in our room, okay? This resin right now is 80 degrees, 80.2, something like that, on purpose. Tabletop resin needs to be warmer. It's at a thinner ratio. This seal coat is paper thin, and you'll see in the application here. So now that it's above 80, it's safe for me to go ahead and pour out. The longer it sits in your cup, the more it's going to heat up because it's at a stand-up volume. Once you get it out there on the table, instantly it starts to cool itself down. So all I'm going to do here, I'm going to start out here kind of in the middle, and I'm going to pour me a nice little trail here, and I'm going to go on and come back some, just like that. And we're going to take that and we're going to stretch that quite a little ways. Let me set my cup down over here. We're going to allow this to soak into this fabric. Because that's what it is basically, it's a fabric. This is going to help everything lay down. We're just trying to get it on the surface. We don't care about anything else. If we're going to get a bubble, if we're going to get a few bubbles, then it's going to happen. Much rather have that in the seal coat than in your flood coat. So you don't care at this point about your lines. You got some lines in there. The flood coat is much thicker. It's going to take care of all that. All we're trying to do here with this coat is just to skim the surface to get that fabric to cover so it is not pushing through when we go to apply that flood coat. Now I'm going to take the rest of this. It's probably a little bit hotter. Okay? But it's still clear as a bell. So now look. And I'm still going to save the rest. Okay, I'll need it here again in a few. And I've already noticed just by going back and forth, okay, we are bringing in, we are introducing bubbles. Okay, it's hitting that fabric. Chemical reaction is happening. We don't care. It's going to glide over just like it's supposed to. It's merely just trying to get this to cover. This is a thicker fabric. You can tell when something ain't covered. So if any bubbles are going to happen, it's going to happen right now, which is great, because then it's going to seal it to where the flood coat will not be interrupted. It will not mess up. So that is my heater, in case you're wondering. I'll get to it here in a second. Let me go ahead and get to it, Tom. It's getting on my way. Sometimes you got to give it an old... We've had that heater forever and a day, so I guess it's time to get a new heater. Getting out here on the edges is most crucial as well. You just want everything covered. Doesn't matter if you have a little lip there. A lot of times you got to look on your project. You got to walk around your project a bunch of different times. I've got a pretty good sized section right here that's missing. So that is why I have the rest of this sitting here. We're going to go ahead and get this. Get some resin over here where it's obvious to me it's lacking. Now, just so you know, a seal coat, because I'm sure if you're anything like Tom and I was over the years, we already thought like, oh man, you know, what's going on? It's a seal coat. This is where you want every bad thing that can possibly happen. This is where you want that to happen. Okay, bubbles, you know, differences, imperfections, anything like that. This is where you want that to be. Because a seal coat's job is literally as flat as you can make it. Look at all those bubbles. Okay, it's having a reaction here on the surface. It's not tearing nothing up, but it's a fabric. So it's going to counter-react. You know, resin is a chemical. It's going to have a reaction. That is completely okay. What we don't want to happen is have the reaction in the flood coat. So we're going to play with this just like this. A couple more minutes, we'll bring you right back.